Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 2B2T. We are here with 641 people online crossing another ocean. As you may have seen in our last episode, we left a tulip, the love of our life, next to a bed in a furnace. Maybe someone will find it. The chords were on the screen, so it's probably guaranteed. But anyways, we are traveling out and continuing our journey across 2B2T going north towards the 100,000 mark, and we are already at 45,000 blocks. Woo! Not the furthest I've ever traveled on foot. I've traveled further. So, anyways, as you may have seen in even my main episodes, I traveled out millions of blocks. But that was through the nether, you know. So, I guess I can't count that. But, anyways, we've traveled. Um, I am continuing the journey. We are looking for interesting things. We are still trying to find supplies, so that we can say, hey, we found a stash. We're a vanilla player, sort of. Whoops, too soon. Wait, maybe not. There it is. Ha-ha! We can't swim. Mr. Oh! Okay, we're gonna have to... If I can select my sword, we're gonna have to get rid of you. There we go. Guarding anything? You're guarding some iron. Well, could come in handy. This one has sand on top of it. More string for pouches, I guess. Well, that's unfortunate. We hoped... and our hope was false. Come here, boat. Why are you so far away? Into the boat. Into the boat. All right, we are onwards. I'll keep checking. We're bound to find something. Just a minute, I'm responding to a message on my mobile phone. I can't ignore. You get some of those messages that you can't ignore because if you do, they keep sending you the messages. It's one of them. So. All right. Well, more ocean. What do you know? That's always fun. Come on. Let's find something. Find me something interesting. Oh, server of 2B2T. Dolphin, lead me to treasure. No, the dolphin didn't lead me to treasure. Is this another one of these big oceans? This is where you wish you had the elytra so that you can whiz across it really quick, right? I could probably go faster with the dolphin by swimming if I had the aqua affinity and stuff. That would be pretty cool. Whiz 100 blocks, but then you'd need a new dolphin. So now that's a lot of work. I saw it somewhere where someone put a highway together, powered by dolphins, as well as soil, and speed. All right, we're going to have to watch for a wither potentially, but we've got a potential base here. Old, ruined, griefed, but you never know. There might be an elytra, even if it's damaged and we have to repair it. That would be cool. But let's go find out. At least we don't have to worry about mobs, right? In general, because it's a mushroom island. One advantage of the mushroom power. There's crystals. Hey, we found our first anvils. Nothing. Steak. Nothing. Nothing. Iron. We'll donate. Nothing. 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 Some blocks. Well, darn it anyways. I can't type. Nothing here. Fusion09a. 25. There we go. There are a few more chests around, but it doesn't look like anything spectacular around, unfortunately. Ah, well, you know, some days you win, some days you lose, most of the days you lose, but you never know. There could be something over here by these magma blocks in this chest over here, or this furnace, this chest and furnace. Whoops. It is hard to travel when you're also trying to respond to messages. I shouldn't be responding to messages. I should just pause the video. You know, I can do that. I'm recording. I can pause the recording. Oh, look at this. They tried to make a little bitty farm over here. Someone did. Fax 2B2T was here. Cool. There's a mushroom cow in the ocean. Where's my boat? More ocean. Woohoo! Let's go. Yeah. I'm excited because it's more ocean. Mr. Dolphin, where is the nearest shulker? Doesn't know. Ah, darn it anyways. I'd never learned dolphin. If I could, I would, you know, it'd be like Okay, I won't do that again. That's terrible. I should I should delete that part of the video. That was no, you didn't hear anything. I changed direction again. The server keeps doing that. It's like if you do this, your boat changes direction sometimes. Now it doesn't want to do it to prove the point, you know. It's like you're imagining things. You're just imagining things. Yep. Well, the good news is that I know that for sure when we get out to like 100,000, these endless oceans tend to stop and go away. And you get into some beautiful mountainous terrain and generation and things like that. And even, excuse me, brand new chunks where we could find a trial dungeon. Not that we're geared to go into a trial dungeon right now. I mean, yeah, that would be total disaster and multiple death for sure, even if we set the bed. But could be exciting. We could get our gear that way, right? Yeah. Definitely. We're not going to find any until we get out past 100,000 and we find new chunks, though. So, we're at 48. We only got 52 to go. That's not bad. We can do it. It just takes a few more hours of recording, a few more hours of watching videos. You guys are up for that, right? Follow along the journey. Let me see. This is probably, by the time this video comes out, it's probably like the middle of July. So I'm probably at a family reunion about now, because that happens the third weekend of July. Up in the high mountains, fresh mountain air. Be so different from where I live right now, which is in the middle of a city of 32 million people. Never thought I would live in a big city. I was always a country person, even growing up when I was in places like Portland, Oregon, and stuff like that. To me it was like, I don't want to live in a city. I want to live in the country. There's oxygen over here. I want to live in the mountains, went camping, fishing, hiking, all of that kind of stuff. And what did I do? I eventually moved to San Diego. That was quite the change. And then I moved to the Philippines, to Manila, to one of the largest cities in the world. Although there's a number of Chinese cities that have now surpassed with their recent, the growth they've had in the last 10 years. But when I moved here 22 years ago, this was like one of the largest cities in the world outside of Tokyo and Mexico City, which were larger, and New York was still larger. But Manila was right up there with those. So, and it's still big. So I'm looking forward to the trip. Being up in the mountains again. Whoops. See, look, it changed direction. I was not going this direction. I was headed this way. I promise I did not touch the keys, and that would have been quite impossible anyways, because it was like instant change. Maybe the server's telling me, hey, go this way because there's a stash over here. Maybe I should listen to the server. Maybe the server's trying to tell me something, right? Now, if I was live streaming or something and going along and talking about things and like, oh, I'm looking for a stash, and then all of a sudden my boat updated to turn in a different direction because like some admin was watching me on stream and following along in the game and said, well, let's just turn his boat. There's a stash right over here. That would be funny, wouldn't it? I know they don't do that. It's questionable how much the owner, whether that's Housemaster or anyone else, I mean, I guess whoever owns it, their title is now Housemaster, but it's questionable whether they actually play regularly on the server. Want some potatoes? We've got some potatoes and melons over there. There's a lot of, your smaller servers and stuff, you usually see the owner all the time online. But can we get rid of this line? There we go. But on server like 2B2T or, obviously other big servers, sometimes the owners probably don't even play Minecraft anymore. I bet. Should we try another chest? I think so. We're going to try these two right here in front of us. Let's see if we get lucky. All right. Down we go. There's no hole. But that just means someone probably covered it up, huh? Come on, go down or we're going to drown. Drain the water out. There we go. Do a little cross cut here. Okay, now we'll put the water back. You'd think the dirt would be easier to dig out, but it's just not. All right, we're ready to fight off the, oh my goodness. Up. There's gonna be nothing in the other one. And the skeleton, they're just all over. I should know better than that, right? I should know that I need to go off to the side. Don't dig just straight down into it. Go off to the side so that, you can dig through a wall just in case the room is full of mobs. I mean, I could turn on the indicator to see if there's mobs. I mean, all I have to do is come here, and say, you know what? I want to see everything. Show me the mobs. That could be a trick, And now there's nothing. There's no mobs at all. I can see them on the map. Oh, there they are. Now they're showing up. Maybe that's a good indicator, since I don't have the thing, maybe that's a good indicator of, hey, you know what? There's a bunch of mobs right here. The question is did I spawn these mobs in? Or was someone nearby and they spawned them in because they were at the chests? That could be. Now, I'm going to be smart here. I'm going to go off to the side. So that I don't accidentally... This is going to be funny if there's actually something in these chests. No, there's not going to be anything in these chests. But, well, there's a diamond. I will not complain about the diamond. What I will complain about is finding my way back up. Well, we got a diamond. We didn't come empty-handed. That's okay. I'm good with that. That gives us 5 diamonds. We're slowly getting, stuff to make gear without mining. The boat's so far away. All right, cool. Now, new potential strategy there. Look for where there might be a bunch of mobs. Of course, there is the idea of that, the mobs are there because I'm the one spawning them in. Can't get out of our boat. Our inventory is full, so we're going to have problems here. There we go. So, I mean, that is possible. Obviously, if I'm coming across I'm going to spawn mobs as well. But there's a possibility that if I see the mobs deeper down, that maybe, just maybe, it's because someone else spawned them in down below. Because like right now, see, if I just stop, there's nothing, right? So I'm not generating or causing anything to spawn. So if I come across a spot where I see a bunch of mobs down below, that would be a very good indicator that someone else has been there. There's a couple mobs down there. I can see them, and they might be in range, and I'm probably the one spawning them in. But it's that would be. I guess that's hard to tell. That's a hard way to do it because, you know, anything that's too close, you have to ask, okay, am I the one causing the spawns? Like these here, you know, am I generating these spawns? Because they're not too far down. Yeah, I don't know if that helps me at all. I mean, it's like, so are those spawning? Or are those because someone else spawned them? Yeah, I can't tell. I guess it doesn't really help me a lot. I would like to think it's because someone else is. But maybe not. Oh well. We'll keep going. Maybe we'll find a base. Especially if we get out further. Maybe we'll just randomly come across someone's base. Very possible. Someone had Frostwalker. That's what that is. It just hasn't melted yet. Probably starting to melt as I go along. I bet ya. If I get close enough. Probably start melting. Maybe not. I'm not seeing it melt like as if it was Frostwalker. Let's see if I stay right here. Anything changing? Well, that one appeared. It's growing, it's not melting. Okay, so it's a biome change. And if okay, that's interesting. It's a definite line. I thought it was maybe a Frostwalker or something, but then I realized it jigjags all around, so. Interesting, interesting. If I was placing a stash in chests out here, would I come out just randomly out to like these cords? Or would I choose a place that's closer to a main travel highway so that I can get to it quickly? I mean, then again, in the Nether, technically, you can get almost anywhere quickly. So, I mean, you know, really, that's not a problem. I think after this episode, I need to make some food, some real food. Human food. My tummy has a grumbly. You can tell we're definitely in more of a dead area because we're not finding like old bases or stuff. We found a few things, you know, in the last episode, whatnot, but we're not even seeing like the pillar up towers. So even though we're only just past 50,000 blocks, it's having an impact on what we're finding and discovering in the world. And it's making it to where things are rarer. But at the same time, when you look at the map, the mini map, this has all been explored. This whole area has been explored because there's no paths or trails or anything like that that we're coming across. So it's all been explored. An old village. Well, not old village, but there's a village. I will say for a newbie, though, wow, lots of mobs here. You can tell someone's been around here quite a bit, flying over it and going back and forth or walking through. Let me see. We needed some more leather for pouch. There we go. I will say for a newbie, an inventory management, even though the pouches are kind of annoying to just access easily. I thought you could cycle through it because it allows you to cycle and just pull out a specific item. But it doesn't seem to allow that. You know what? There's a lot of horses here. We got a lot of garbage too, but we can do this. We can create a pouch. We can get rid of the lever. I don't even know where that came from. We can take said pouch and we can put some stuff into it like this. Oops. One book fills a pouch. Wow. Now that's kind of silly, right? Because I can do all this other stuff and free up inventory space, but one book fills up an entire pouch? Listen, Mr. Horsey. You better be fast. We seem to have ran out of ocean, which is good. Where's my saddle? Did I put my saddle in the ender chest? Well, Mr. Horsey, it wasn't meant to be. I'm sorry. Probably accidentally put the saddle in the ender chest. Well, especially since we've passed so many saddles, that's like frustrating. Anyways, we found another ocean almost immediately. It's like we would have gotten on the horse and, oh, there's an ocean here. Huh. How wonderful. There's some blocks here. Somebody put up a wall, but we don't know why. But they did. We'll never understand. I chose to go by land. 2 if by sea, 1 if by land. Is that how it goes? I actually can't remember, to be honest. And is it really important to know? I don't have any emeralds, so sorry, I can't trade you anything. You didn't have anything anyways. You can defend me against that skeleton because your llamas are going to get defensive and go, "How dare you shoot an arrow at our master?" Well, it is getting dark. I'm going to come out here into the ocean. Aha, there's a thing. We can get a saddle. We can get our saddle back. There's a bed over there, too. Alright. Side trip. I was going to stay off the land because it's getting dark. But this is a good spot to, 1, access an ender chest in the morning, and 2, sleep in this bed. We'll check these chests too because it's suspicious that there's a bed near the temple. This is a bad place to put a bed. I'm sorry if you were dependent upon that bed. I'm going to guess that there's nothing in these, but we're going to come down here anyways. Oops, that's the wrong button. My luck at temples, it means usually... How many sand blocks do we have here? Oh my goodness. We've got the endless desert falling on this chest. There's nothing. There's nothing in it. Well, that's alright. We're going to go ahead and... here, we're just going to block that. And that. Put our bed. We're going to sleep in it so we don't spawn phantoms. That's why I really wanted the bed. There we go. We'll leave, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.